Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for joining us. I'm Will Dupree, coming to you from the KXAN Live studio. We're going to go live now to a news conference that's about to begin. City leaders and Austin police are issuing a formal apology to sexual assault survivors for mishandling their cases. Let's listen in as that begins.
Good afternoon. I'm Bruce Mills, Interim Assistant City Manager, and thank you for joining us today. I'm here today joined by members from the Austin Police Department, include Interim Chief Robin Henderson, to offer our sincere apologies on behalf of the City of Austin for the past mishandling of the sexual assault cases and trauma that it caused our survivors. In January of 2022, the Austin City Council approved a settlement with 15 women who sued the City of Austin over the handling of allegations into sexual assaults that occurred between 2006 and 2019. We can all agree that the cases that the survivors were involved in were not handled appropriately and did not reflect the values of our organization. And for that, on behalf of the City of Austin, I offer my sincere apology. It's also important for our community to know that we've taken full responsibility and continue to take the necessary steps in that responsibility to address and prevent these critical errors from ever occurring in the future. Interim Chief Henderson and former Chief Joe Chacon have met back last year, have met survivors personally to offer their apologies on behalf of the police department. And since the concerns came to light, the city has worked toward transformations, changing in policies and procedures to ensure that survivors of sexual assault are treated seriously, communicated with effectively, and have their cases investigated thoroughly. And since 2019, the city has earmarked more than $4.4 million to improve APD investigations in sexual assaults. This includes funding for the audits of the APD's Police Department sex crimes, victim counseling, the Victims Counseling Services, and Sexual Assault Prevention Initiative. The city also commissioned independent external audit of city practices. They engaged PERF, Police Executive Research Forum, Women's Law Project, Wellesley Center for Women, and launched the Collective Sex Crimes Response Model Project. This focuses on applying changes to the APD Sex Crimes Unit. Through this whole collaboration, this effort for involving stakeholders, local, non-profit partners, advocates, subject matter experts from this community. This is an unprecedented and local partnership centered on this critically important topic. While we cannot remove or undo the harm that survivors and their families have endured, we can commit, along with APD leadership with me here today, to continue focusing on making absolutely certain that these types of errors that happened in the past never happen again. And with that, we're doing everything as a police department, as a city, and as a community to protect and support survivors of sexual abuse. I'd like to have Chief Henderson please come up and make comments. Chief?
Thank you all for being here. We truly appreciate it. Thank you. I would like to echo Interim Assistant City Manager Mills' comments. Today is an important day and an important moment for the City of Austin. The Austin Police Department, and most significantly, sexual assault survivors in our Austin community. To all the survivors in our Austin community, I would like to apologize for how your cases were mishandled. And to the hurt and re-victimization that you have endured as a result of these missteps. I also must thank you for your courage and for your persistence to improve outcomes for all survivors. Thank you. Hear me when I say, I and all members of the Austin Police Department are committed to making sure no other survivor for implementation of what has become known as the Collective Sex Crimes Response Model. This project has presented an opportunity for APD to work with its partners and stakeholders to formulate a comprehensive and victim-centered approach to handling sex crimes cases. I am extremely proud to say that this project is going to be a model that is unprecedented and one that we believe, once finalized, will be highlighted as national best practices, with the understanding and commitment for constant and continual evaluation for improvements. This impressive effort speaks to the importance of how serious APD is committed and is building in strength and trust and transparency through a collective and collaborative approach. But please know the work is not done. I'll now invite up Lieutenant Lalou.
Thank you, Chief. My name is Lieutenant Chris Lalou, and I lead and manage APD's Sex Crimes Unit and Domestic Violence Unit. I want to begin by stating how grateful I am for the courage and determination of the plaintiffs who challenged a system that didn't serve them. Those of us working for survivors do the best we can with the training and resources we have, but I know it wasn't enough. This crime goes too often unreported, and those who perpetuate it are too seldom held accountable. The plaintiffs' efforts and legal action forced our city and our department to listen and to respond. Apologies are important, but they must be combined with introspection and with change. Since the settlement of the survivor lawsuit, APD has embarked on a project looking at every aspect in which our sex crimes unit operates. A team of over 40 project members has been established, including not only APD personnel and leadership, but also members from various agency partners throughout Austin and Travis County that are invested in the response, the care, and services available to survivors of sexual assault. The project work is comprehensive, and a team is reviewing and assessing everything from policies and training to response and investigation practices, as well as the data we publish and how we engage with the community. The lawsuit and audit served to identify the ways in which we were not serving victims and survivors, and we were looking to make Austin and Travis County's response to sexual assault the very best in the nation. When we are done, we hope to have created something that the plaintiffs and this community can be proud of. I want to first thank the plaintiffs for leading the way. I want to thank Chief Henderson and her executive staff for their support on this project. I also want to thank the support we have received from the Austin City Council, the Public Safety Commission, the Commission for Women, the Austin Travis County Sexual Assault Response and Resource Team, and finally to every project member that has already given tremendous time and effort to help improve the system for survivors in our community. I'm honored to introduce Holly Bowles from the Safe Alliance to speak about community resources.
Good afternoon. Lieutenant. My name is Holly Bowles. I'm the Director of Sexual Assault Victim Advocacy at the Safe Alliance, and I was asked to speak today and share some information about resources available for survivors in the community. I also would like to start by echoing the thanks to the survivors named in the lawsuit and those who were not named yet still have advocated and fought for the accountability and change that's happening today. If you are a survivor or have had an unwanted sexual experience and you're having complicated feelings about today, I want you to hear first that you are not alone. My hope is that you have a feeling of safety and peace, but it may be difficult or impossible to access those things right now. That's okay, and you do not have to find them on your own. I want to highlight 2 organizations in Austin that exist to support survivors of violence, including sexual assault: Asian Family Support Services of Austin, or AFSA, and the Safe Alliance. Advocates at each of these organizations are available to speak confidentially, to listen, to hold space for hurt and anger, and to connect you with ongoing support, including counseling services, legal services, peer support, and more. While AFSA serves all survivors, they specialize in supporting immigrant survivors and the communities. They provide culturally sensitive counseling and support. Their advocates and interpreters speak almost 40 different languages, and they help in the language that you speak. You can contact AFSA's confidential hotline any day or time at 877-8371. In addition to advocacy services, the Safe Alliance has specially trained on-call nurses and a quiet, private, free clinic where you can meet with an advocate and a nurse after a sexual assault. You can call SAFE's 24/7 hotline at 512-267-7233 or online at safeaustin.org/chat. Regardless of your gender, your race, citizenship, sexuality, disability status, or any other aspect of your identity, violence is not your fault. If you have had an unwanted sexual experience or if you're not sure what happened, advocates are available to help you through the process and discuss your options. If you're not ready to speak with police, that's okay. You get to decide if and when reporting is right for you. Adults in Texas can have DNA evidence collected and preserved without talking to law enforcement for up to 5 days after the incident. If you just want to make sure your body is okay and you don't want to have evidence collected, you can still receive free medical care with nurses at the Safe Alliance. Justice looks different for everyone, and we're here to support you regardless. I'll share those hotline numbers again. You can call Asian Family Support Services of Austin at 877-281-8371. And you can connect with a sexual assault nurse examiner or an advocate at the Safe Alliance at 512-267-7233 or at safeaustin.org/chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Holly. We are available to answer any questions that you may have.
I have a question from CBS Austin. This apology comes just a few days after some survivors expressed, concern, frustration, disappointment about, one of them used the word betrayal, about the city seeking to reappoint a department leader who oversaw the department when they went through this trauma. So this is probably a question for the city, because I understand many police department policies and procedures have changed, but how do you ensure survivors that the perspective of the city has changed?
I just want to speak as far as project management. We are absolutely committed to, we've been through challenges. They've been in group work and funding, and whatever challenge we've come across, we've worked through together, collaboratively, which is crucial to us, that we're involved with all the project members and come to decisions collectively and that we agree upon them. I'm not going to speak directly to that development, and yes, correct, I'll defer to city managers and the chief. But I want to say that we are, the leadership within APD and then the leadership we brought on from community members and survivors, we are committed to the success and completion of this project. And I refuse for it to be derailed by any development or appointments. I would anticipate and hope that anyone coming on would be prepared to meet with us and to learn from us how important this work is. So I just mentioned it, not just at large and in general, to any development, any appointment, because this project work is going to go on until it's done. And we anticipate it's going to be at least another year and probably the better part of 2 years. And so in that time, we've talked about and prepared for changes that can affect. So we anticipate anything that might affect the project, and we absolutely anything that might jeopardize that. But what you're speaking to is that the opinions and feelings and thoughts of the survivors in the community, to me, in my project work, are critical and essential in the work I do as a police officer.
Good afternoon. You can't see it on screen, but we have, I think, 8 council members, and we have County Attorney Garza and Congressman Kassar and former council member Jimmy Flanagan here. In answer to your question, this is how we ensure that we don't go back, is that the council stands firm and committed to making this change. We set out on this path. We have worked diligently over years, and we are not going to let these women who so bravely stood up and told their stories over and over down. We're not going to let the other people in our community who might experience violence down. We are going to create a model system that provides justice and healing. Thank you.
Thank you. I completely agree with Lieutenant's comments and yours, Council Member. This is to go forward, and this sad situation, this travesty, spanned at least a decade, and that crossed many executives in this city. That we've had a change across the leadership at council level and the city management level and police department level over the years. So I'm not going to respond about any one individual being appointed or not being appointed related to this.
Campus wants to address the breaking news that our president already shared in his Instagram, about him deciding to, even though he was excited about the opportunity, that he won't be joining the city.
Again, I don't think it's appropriate for this setting. You have the information.
But I will say, victims say that this felt like a slap in the face to have this appointment, and then now he's saying that he's gone. I feel like possibly a comment about that whole process of the hiring, and now he's not going to take the position. Any words from you all at all?
It has nothing to do with the conversation we're having now.
Would it have been counterproductive, though, to have him on board, given that you're trying to move forward on this issue?
The focus today is on the apology. We'd like to
Yeah,
keep it fast.
again.
We can have another time to talk about Mr. Acevedo, but we are talking about the victims and we're apologizing.
And I agree. I'm happy to do that after this, but not in this setting, period.
Any other questions about the work being done for the chief or Lieutenant Ballou?
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you all for watching here on KXAN Live as we've been bringing you this live stream of a press conference from the City of Austin as well as Austin Police talking about a formal apology being issued to sexual assault survivors. A number of survivors filed a lawsuit, and they were saying that the Austin Police Department and a number of other agencies mishandled their sexual assault cases from a period of 2006 to 2019. A large settlement was reached 2 years ago in January of 2022, and now they are, in addition to this settlement, issuing a formal apology. As you can see, Councilmember Ryan Alter there giving a hug and also greeting some of the survivors who are gathered there at this news conference today. What's going to be happening moving forward is that there is going to be continued review of the police department's sexual assault case handling, and they are promising changes and an improved response in department after all of this work and the advocacy being pushed by a lot of these survivors. This also comes as a time when a lot of the survivors from this particular case expressed misgivings about former police chief Art Acevedo returning to Austin for an interim city manager position that would oversee the Austin Police Department. We just got some breaking news a few moments ago that Art Acevedo is turning down that position, even though he is moving back to Austin. We have more details about that over on KXAN.com if you'd like to read that story. It just went up about maybe 10 minutes ago. So right now we're going to wrap up our live stream and let you know that we will continue coverage of all of these developments, and I hope that you'll follow along with us as we continue out that reporting. Once again, I'm Will Dupree in the KXAN Live Studio. Thank you so much for watching here this afternoon. We will see you back here at another time. Hope you all stay safe and healthy out there. Take care.